Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
So Brianna Joy Gray is back at it, folks. So for those of you that don't know, Bernie Sanders in the Senate and the House Progressives and the House of Representatives are going to hold the line, and they are going to vote against the stupid-ass bullshit nonsense that moderate, quote-unquote, also known as conservative right-wing neo-fascist Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are trying to destroy the Joe Biden Build Back Better agenda. They're going to try to do their best and use their leverage as a group and as a voting bloc to make sure that the bill does not pass the House. So, how did we get to this point? Well, a lot of people think that they should have been forcing votes all day, every day. I think those people are very stupid. We got to this point, in my opinion, because of months of negotiating and months of power building, right? The original strategy that forced the vote, again, a conspiracy theory network that Brianna Joy Gray helped promulgate, was about 9 progressives in the House. Now we've got the entire progressive caucus, or at least half of them, in support of this strategy, right? Which gives you even more power and even more leverage. And it's at an actual very important moment in congressional legislation where we can maybe hold the line here and get some actual good shit instead of letting corporate Democrats destroy everything and steamroll us, right? So now again, you can make the argument that progressives should have been doing this the whole time. It's a strategy. But Brianna Joy Gray here is really, I'm glad this happened. It's worth noting it could have happened in January. No, it couldn't have. How could it have happened in January? How could they have negotiated for months, got the president on board, and did media bashing of Manchin and Sinema for months and months and months ahead of this? How could that have happened in January? What? It doesn't make any sense. But what Brianna Joy Gray, again, is referring to here is the force the vote conspiracy. That AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and a couple of others could have potentially gotten us Medicare for All by forcing a vote. That could not have happened. They would have not had the leverage to do so, and the vote would have gotten epic failed. It would have gotten steamrolled, and then it would be nonstop media coverage about how stupid they look. Right? Instead, what they did was they played the longer game. Now, again, you can disagree with that. I think another good opportunity for them to have done this would have been on the $15 minimum wage. They chose not to. I disagree with that. I think the $15 minimum wage would have been a very good time to exercise this power. But either way, they decided to bide their time a little bit more, and now it's looking like we might have something pretty decent on our hands. But the blame is going to be placed on Manchin and Sinema. The media right now is somehow in favor of the progressives. Now, there's a lot of media figures that are attacking AOC, Pramila Jayapal, and Bernie Sanders, but really it seems like the bulk of the narrative here is focusing on Manchin and Sinema's corruption, right? There's been a lot of news stories about how their families are profiting from this, about how they directly are being funded by this. Sinema had a meeting with big corporations, drug companies, fossil fuel companies earlier this week, right? So the media is actually digging at them. Right now, we're winning the media war right now, but people like Brianna Joy Gray are still trying to build their brand off of this garbage. And again, I can't help but talk about how silly it is. Like you have Joe Scarborough, however you pronounce his name, on MSNBC talking about taxing the rich, sapping their money, taxing capital. Like he's using the term capital. Like, that's crazy shit. And so, now, I don't want to say that the squad is doing 7D chess and this is all part of the plan. It's possible that, they just kind of randomly fumbled into this. It's very possible. But also, it's also very possible we're going to get fucked either way. And so, I'm glad that we at least have a chance at forcing a vote rather than have no chance. Because the force to vote for Medicare for All conspiracy theory was based on having no chance. It was based on showing how much of a loser we are. Now, again, there can be upsides to that. Maybe before an election. That would have been a better time. Like, let's say right before the midterm election, you force the vote on Medicare for All, and then they all vote it down, and then they all, people get pissed off, and then you use that for the next 2 months. But right after an election would have been stupid. People would have forgotten about it by 2022. Right now, it seems like progressives are saving Biden's agenda, and moderates, quote-unquote, right-wing neo-fascist Democrats are the ones losing bigly. And that's good. And we're closer to the midterms now. And if they keep pounding on this and have a similar situation happen next year, who knows how the midterms could look?